astonishing. That never happens.
I haven't had to problem solve anything.
Haven't had to problem solve anything so far.
I don't need your negative attitude, Chris. Did I tell you about this personal mystery I've kind of set out to solve?
No.
This will be a little bit of pre-show chat that gets a little bit into my personal life. You might remember that I had a stepfather who
Yes.
had always, well, first of all, I had one, but also he apparently served time in a federal penitentiary for murder, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he would talk about it sometimes, and the story would change every time.
Naturally.
Yeah, and so I kind of I stopped believing it. And something ended up happening when I was in college where I was talking to a police officer, and like I said, he said he was in prison for murder. I don't know if I actually believe him. And he goes, "Well, what's his name?" And I gave him his name, and he on his little cruiser laptop was like, "No, he murdered somebody. No, he was in prison.
Definitely killed a guy."
Yeah. So it's been sitting in the back of my mind for years. And I every once in a while my mind revisits this, and I've decided to commit some brain power to it, which I wasn't ready to do before, but I've been sending freedom of information requests to the California, because I know where it happened. I just didn't know exactly where, what county or when the date was. So I've been talking to the California Department of Corrections with a Freedom of Information Act request and everything. It's very sleuthy online detective Yellow Jackets. What's her name?
Yeah.
Is in that Reddit group,
Yeah.
Boop. Posted a reel the other day. We're playing Battlefront, and you remember the on the Lucre Hulk map, you fly into the core and you fly out.
You do your little Death Star run.
But sometimes the doors close. And I was in there a little too long, and the door started closing, and I just barely made it out, and I recorded a clip of it. And that motherfucker has 80,000. That reel has 80,000 views or something on our Facebook page right now. Chris says, "May the force be with you, Daniel and Chris. I hope you're both having a good night. I'm excited about Mandalorian and Grogu movie. We're going to talk about that. Stick around. I don't know why people online are saying the movie looks boring. I do have some thoughts about it, and they're not all positive, which I'm surprised about because we try to. We'll talk about it when we get there. I'm not alarmed by it. I'll just say that.
I mean, the reason people on the internet are saying it looks boring is because they're the worst people in the world.
Yeah. Also, they
will
don't
take literally any excuse to shit on Star Wars.
Yeah. All right, shall we get started?
I think we better.
Welcome back to Jedi Enclave. I am Daniel.
I'm Chris.
And we are the hosts of the Jedi Enclave Presents. Now, this is Podcasting Podcast, our weekly podcast about Star Wars and Star Wars accessories, which is particularly true this week because there's actually Star Wars shit to talk about.
Just a little bit.
Which we will be talking about. Lego Star Wars rebuild the galaxy, rebuild the something. See the second season of that one, the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, which turns out I read a thing. I don't know if this is true, but I read a thing that because of the Jimmy Kimmel thing, that Disney was supposed to release that trailer a few days ago, but because of that whole thing, they've decided not to do it. Which brings me to my next entirely improvised point.
Okay.
And I say this with as much disdain and disrespect that I can muster. Fuck the FCC. And I would have said that before last week. And if anyone is curious about the FCC or its history, there is an amazing George Carlin video from I think the 80s, where he fits the FCC into his comedy routine, and it is fucking hilarious, and it's all true. But if anyone didn't hear about this, a part of our federal government last week tried to strong arm a TV network into firing a TV host. And it worked for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And then Disney's stock price dropped, and they lost like $8 billion.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh, hold on a second.
Wait a minute. We are the biggest fans of the U.S. government. Well, we're even bigger fans of money.
Yes.
So fuck you, FCC. Jimmy Kimmel's back on.
Yeah. And so he went back on last night, and regardless of where you fall in the politics of this, the government telling anyone that they can't say something, as long as it's not like gratuitous nudity or because
the obvious stuff that you probably shouldn't broadcast.
Right, like the stuff that the FCC is supposed to be policing, like certain curse words you're not supposed to say, or like you can only say shit if it's after like a certain time. Make sure there aren't titties flopping around or dicks or anything, like that normal stuff.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Yeah, but like, look, if you're the party of the freedom of speech, and Gina Carano got fired and it was a violation of her freedom, if you're in that camp, you should be pissed about this Jimmy Kimmel thing. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter if he said something that you really disagree with, because I'm sure a ton of people disagree with what he said, but nothing he said was that bad. And we're talking about this because it's Disney, and it was kind of like in the news this week. And in fact, I wasn't even planning on talking about it very much, but
the spirit moved you.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter if you agree with them or not. The fact that the United States government tried to step in and say, we want that guy fired, that is a clear textbook violation of the First Amendment.
Yep. And
we'll leave the politics there. And move along, but be consistent with what you believe. If you're for the First Amendment, you should be for it all of the time, not just when it benefits you.
There was a little bit in Kimmel's comeback show I saw a clip of. He's like, it's really great to be back. However, Disney did ask me to read a short statement. He pulls out this paper, unfolds it. To reactivate your Disney Plus account.
That would be way more funny if that wasn't a carefully calculated joke that they wrote. They wouldn't have told that joke if they knew it wasn't going to go over well.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're talking about Lego Star Wars today. We're going to talk a little bit about Gen V Season 2, the season finale of Alien Earth, Mandalorian, Grogu, etc., etc. While you're here, go check us out on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord, and Blue Sky. Say hi to us. By the way, this is a live stream, so as we go along, put your thoughts in the comments. We'll read them. For example, as I'm about to do, Chris says, not you, Chris, another Chris, entirely other Chris. I try to always be positive about Star Wars, and I always try to keep an open mind. I'm really excited to see Star Wars in theaters again. I just love Star Wars. You know what, man?
Yeah.
Fucking same.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Before we get into that, we're getting into spooky season.
Indeed.
Here in a bit, it's going to be October, and I'm excited about shit like that because in October, my partner and I are going to rewatch Agatha All Along. We're not going to make you do that because you've already seen it.
Yeah.
Because that's a really good spooky October thing. And you and I will be watching the new HBO show, Welcome to Derry, which... The reason that I'm invested in this is because it's an HBO show, and they very rarely miss with shows. Like, their shit's usually pretty good, and I like the story a whole bunch too, which is based in the Stephen King It universe. Which there's an argument to be made that all of his stories kind of share the same universe. For example, in the trailer that we watched, there's a bus. This says Shawshank. Yeah, which is obviously from the Shawshank Redemption. And And I love Stephen King stories. And we were talking a little bit about this earlier, just because of how, like, the point of them isn't to be like horror stories. They're just supposed to be really interesting stories. And for like Shawshank Redemption, Chris, to this day, I cry every time I watch it. It is one of the best movies ever made. So if you've not seen Shawshank, go and see that. But this is in the Pennywise the Clown. This movie, by the way, this miniseries in the 90s is the reason everyone's scared of clowns. By the way, the single-handedly, and which is funny because it wasn't presented as like ultra scary horror. Tim Curry played Pennywise, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think they knew what they like. They wouldn't have had him play Pennywise if they didn't want the adults to kind of like roll their eyes a little bit when they watched it. But like the kids watching that, like me, I watched that and I was terrified of clowns. They fairly recently rebooted rebooted it into a 2-film set several years ago, starring like Finn Wolfhard, Jack Dylan Grazer, and their like adult counterpoints, James McAvoy and Bill Hader and shit. And they're amazing. They're very, very good movies. So we're going to be getting into that, into the, how did Pennywise get there? Why is he always a clown? Why does he like to eat children? And all the other shit. Also, John and I, just to stay on the creepy thing for 1 second, John and I watched, aside from Sinners, which is a movie that Ryan Coogler movie that came out that was amazing, like truly jaw-dropping amazing, which is funny because I do not like vampire stories anymore. I'm just so tired of them.
Yeah.
100% to its core vampire story, one of the best horror movies I've ever seen. Followed by one of the best horror movies I'd ever seen just a couple months later, called Weapons, starring Josh Brolin, the woman that played Silver Surfer in the new Fantastic Four is in it, and like, you know, the guy that plays Wong in the MCU is fucking. He's
a lot of Marvel alumni in this movie.
Yes, and the hook is that at 2:17 in the morning, all the kids in this like second grade class, except for one, got up out of their beds, walked out the door, and all ran in a straight line somewhere with their arms back like this.
Okay.
Except for one kid who didn't. And we all know what, because like this isn't the modern day, so everyone's got their fucking Ring cams on their and it's like suburbia white people and everything. So like they have video of these kids just fucking running through the yard all at 2:17 in the morning. What are they running toward? We don't fucking know. And that's the whole mystery. And the way to tell this story is it's like in three different, like the first bit follows one character, the second bit follows another character, and they all kind of connect in different experiences and shit. Stunningly amazing story. And I maintain to this day that the best horror movies aren't the ones that are just trying to make you queasy with like the torture porn and everything. They are the stories that when the camera pans over, you go, right? And it's not because you're afraid of seeing like a mangled body hanging from the ceiling. It's because you don't know what's there, and it scares the shit out of you. And also, this movie, and I'm just now realizing I might show it to you at the end, after this. One of the funniest climaxes of a horror movie I've ever seen, where I laughed but it's like we weren't laughing at it. We were in on the joke. Yeah. Still maintained its scariness, but still was the funniest shit I've seen this year. Like, it was so good. So if you've not seen Weapons, go and see that, and then go watch his other movie. Do you know about the comedy skit? Whitest Kids You Know. One of the guys from that is the one who created it. And he did another one starring Justin Long, and Bill Skarsgård, who plays Pennywise, by the way, called Barbarian a couple of years ago that we also watched and also was very, very good. Okay. So, all right, let's get going. Let's talk about some Star Wars.
Okay.
Mandalorian and Grogu had a movie trailer.
Despite the fact this movie isn't coming out for like 8 months.
A while, yeah.
But pretty cool trailer. I mean, it had the Razor Crest, which Mando's got a new
somehow the Razor Crest returned.
This is a universe with mass-produced starships.
Right, it's not. It's not like
it's
right.
not out of the question
No.
that he just went out and bought another one.
No, you're right. It's okay. Well, so first of all, in the first season, they do kind of set the Razor Crest up to be a really rare ship. That being said, it's not like I would see my neighbor with a Corvette and be like, how the other guy down the block has a Corvette.
That's impossible.
Yeah, like it's obviously they made more than one of those ships. Yeah. That's fine. We're going to briefly talk about it in a second, but I'm going to be really candid about this. And people who are fans of the podcast and who are kind of like hanging out with us and are part of the conversation a lot know that our general philosophy is that we tend not to just bitch about things, and we try to give everything its fair shake before we pass judgment. Right? Mm-hmm. Trailers can also be purposely deceiving. Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta say, if this movie is just kind of a tonal succession of Mandalorian season 3, I don't know how interested in it I am. Because I think out of the 3 seasons, the 3rd season of Mandalorian is easily the weakest. Okay. Which is kind of, it hurts me to say a little bit when you consider that the climax of season 2 is one of the loudest Star Wars moments ever. And then we kind of went back to this weird scattershot story thing that looked fake as shit because they had to do everything on the volume, right? Yeah. And that wasn't their fault. It was COVID, everything, you know. It looks to me like a lot of the stuff in the trailer is shot on the volume. And I don't think it looks very good. It could just be unfinished, like, or not polished visual effects too, which often happens in trailers. And I'm not sure. I just don't know. I don't want to go and see this movie and think, oh, this is just the 4th season, the continuation of the 3rd season, and it's just more of the same, right? So let's talk about what we did see in the trailer though. And a quick note that this is about 7 years after Return of the Jedi. It's obviously after season 3 of The Mandalorian. Yeah. This is after Bo-Katan has united the Mandalorians. They've reclaimed Mandalore. Grogu and Din Djarin have retired to Navarro. And we somewhere in there we know that Grand Admiral Thrawn has returned. We know this from Ahsoka season 1, but we also know this from Mandalorian season 3, where the Shadow Council was talking about Thrawn and Paleon, where he's like, fucking Thrawn's back. Yeah. Baby. So we know that shit's going on, right? And so whether or not that stuff weighs in, I don't know how much of the Bo-Katan thing. I noticed that Bo-Katan is missing from the trailer, as is Moff Gideon. And I know you're probably thinking, well, have you seen season 3? Because Moff Gideon fucking died. That's true. There were a lot of Moff Gideons, though. And it kind of felt like one of those moments where I walked away from season 3 thinking, oh, we're going to see Moff Gideon again.
Somehow Moff Gideon returned.
And if that was never the plan, they're like, no, he's dead. That's where we're leaving it. Fucking great. Because bringing him back would be a little cheap anyway. Yeah. So we do see were you about to say something?
Do we know that Katie Sackhoff is in this movie?
I haven't seen her name on anything, and she wasn't in the trailer.
So it might be that they're just done with the Mandalorian storyline for right now, and they want to tell a different story.
Well, the story they seem to be telling is that Mando is hunting down Imperials, like the Imperial Remnant, which is a cool idea, depending on how they do it. The thing is, how do you do it without Luke Skywalker? Because all of us oldies, all of the olds, are going to remember the Timothy Zahn series and Luke's fight with the Imperial Remnant. And how do you really replace that? Because it is kind of the best part of Star Wars Legends.
You don't have to. Like, the whole point of Legends
Yes, you do! Sorry.
The whole point of Legends is that it's not canon anymore.
Yeah,
so
I
you can
know.
tell new stories in that space.
I know.
Like you don't have to make Thrawn exactly like Timothy Zahn's Thrawn.
I know. Well, he is still Timothy Zahn's Thrawn because Timothy Zahn also wrote the the new books.
Thrawn does not need to be exactly the same as old Thrawn.
No. You're making sense, Chris. Yes, you're making sense. I just don't like it. We know that the Razor Crest is back, obviously, as we mentioned.
Or
that's
a Razor Crest.
That's not a problem with story. Like, obviously, the manufacturer of that ship made more than one. It's not a huge deal. We are getting a return of the Eldefi Rangers, which are like the group of guys led by Carson Teva. This was originally supposed to be a part of the Rangers of the New Republic show that they canceled because Gina Carano's a dumbass. And I'm pretty sure. So obviously Sigourney Weaver shows up, which, by the way, Sigourney Weaver in Star Wars, fucking sign me up for that. Queen of fucking sci-fi. Speaking of Alien, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's playing Gina Carano's part in this movie. So
that'd be quite the upgrade.
Yes.
Well,
yeah. Oh yeah. And that isn't the shit on Gina Carano, which we would anyway.
Like Gina Carano, for as terrible a human being as she is a really good action actress. Like she sells action scenes really well.
She's a good. I don't know why I'm making this distinction because I know exactly what you mean. She's not a very good actor.
Sure.
Like when she says things, it's awkward and clunky and weird. But watching her beat the shit out of people, like that's a lot of fun. She's very, very good at it. Yeah. So anyway, I'm pretty sure that Sigourney Weaver is playing that kind of role where she's like running things. We know that like there are stormtroopers, Imperial bases. Obviously, an AT-AT goes down in this trailer.
There's a whole line of AT-ATs waiting to go down.
Yes, and also this ties into footage that we pirated footage that someone risked their lives at Star Wars Celebration to
Disney
smuggle out.
Ever figures out who that person was, like they will not even know Disney's ninjas are after them.
There's a whole sequence of Din Djarin breaking into one of those and shooting his way through stormtroopers and blowing it up and shit. So we see a lot of Grogu, obviously, because Grogu is like Disney Plus's cash cow. So they're gonna. Did you notice it? So in season 3, when he's like hanging out with the Mandalorians, they give him that little paintball launcher.
Yeah.
And he's got that in the trailer, and he shoots like a little creature with it. And then Babu Frick, who is also in this for some reason, says nice shot, baby, or something. So eagle-eyed fans were quick to point out Zeb from Rebels fucking throwing down in a hallway, which
hopefully still voiced by Steve Bloom.
He is.
Good.
Yes. Also, by the way, since we're just randomly saying shit like that, Göransson, Ludwig Göransson is doing the film score for this movie, so that's cool.
It's exciting because like I know he did season 1, but like
I think he did all of the Mando ones, and he did Book of Boba Fett.
I could have sworn there was a season that had someone else doing the.
It might have been season 3, but I can tell you for sure that he did season 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So we see Zeb throwing down in a hallway, which, to their credit, that's going to be a really difficult visual effects thing, because Zeb is weird and gangly and does not move like a human being.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a thing. We see Rhoda the Hutt, who is Jabba the Hutt's son, the one that they fucking rescued.
Not the Hutt with the abs.
Right. Well, I think Rhoda does have abs.
Oh, cool.
Because he's a younger Hutt.
Yeah.
The younger Hutts have abs. Voiced by Jeremy Allen White, the star of The Bear.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just have this mental image of a Hutt saying, "We're firing 40 beefs, 50 chickens, 30 sausages, now!"
Corners. Yeah.
Corner!
Yeah.
Behind!
So if you've not seen The Bear, my partner is from Chicago, and I can tell you that everyone I've ever met from Chicago is so loud, and I don't understand why. That's just how they are. And go and watch The Bear. Unless you have panic issues, you probably shouldn't watch it, because it is just every episode, start to finish, is just anxiety ramping up.
It does kind of simulate a panic attack at times.
Yes.
Like that. I think that's
great show,
even
by the way.
Part of a plot device.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because the main character has
has some anxiety disorder.
So a couple things that we might have noticed. So Babu Frick's back. We see a bunch of Imperial shit. There is an alien that was in the Jabba the Hutt like group scene in Return of the Jedi. That makes an appearance in this one. And yeah, there's a lot of shit actually going on. It comes out in May, and just like everything else, I'm gonna give it a fair shake, and I hope I'm going in hoping it's better than Mandalorian season 3, because I didn't love it.
When this movie was like, when we first heard about this movie, it was supposed to be the thing that ties together all the Disney Plus shows of this era and like just knots it up neatly, and that's very clearly not the case anymore, which gives me some concerns about the plot, because that might mean they had to kind of scramble and improvise after they decided to do another season of Ahsoka.
I think that's exactly what happened. If I had to bet money on it, I would guess that they were like, oh shit, people actually kind of liked Ahsoka, so we got to do more of that. Which I don't know. If they make it work, they make it work. I can just tell you that looking at the scenes that I saw in the trailer, my first question was, does this have to be a theatrical release? Because it looks like kind of something that would be on Disney Plus, which isn't necessarily a compliment. So, but like I said, we're going to give it a fair shake. If it's good, we'll be the first people to say it's good. All right. We watched Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy Pieces of the Past. And I'm just realizing there's no way we have time to go through every one of these fucking things. So we'll speed run it a little bit.
Broad strokes.
We have a lot of shit to talk about today. So we're left in a universe. So basically, this is kind of Star Wars's like weird what if / what if we just all bash our action figures together and play with them. But
kids, remember Darth Jar Jar?
Right. Yeah. Or a way to like introduce memes. Yeah. A lot of Lego Star Wars is memes. So main character Sig Griebling is our hero for this, having just in the first season of the show came to at the end builds a new universe, and everything is different. Fucking, you got Jedi Vader and Jedi Palpatine and Darth Jar Jar and Darth Rose Tico for some fucking reason.
Okay.
And
good for her, girl boss.
Right. TIE fighters have X-wing noses and everything's different. Cats and dogs.
It's all weird and wacky.
Yes. And he's joined by his friends Yessi and Jedi Bob, his teacher, and Servo, his trusty droid companion. The big problem with this season, of course, is that his brother Dev has fallen to the dark side and is on his own little journey, and Sig wants to get back to him and
bring him back to the light.
I do like how we get Dev searching a sacred grove on Dathomir, and we meet like a different version of Asajj Ventress, who's not a Night Sister. She's a Day Sister.
Oh, okay.
And she's riding a Rancor, which is also kind of a deep cut because
that is what the Dathomiri witches did in Legends.
Yes. Which is not the Timothy Zahn series. That is the Kevin J. Anderson Jedi Search series that we learned that in, by the way. So Sig is training with Jedi Bob. And he's so basically the way the powers work out is that like the light side they do force building, and the dark side does force breaking or whatever. And remember, guys, this is for kids, guys. So like it's very basic. Yes. It's not very complicated at all.
It's meant to sell toys,
right? And they do this training montage at the beginning where he does build a bunch of different shit all at once out of Legos. Like he builds like one of the LAAT fighter transport fighters and all this other shit. And oh, by the way, I really thought for a second Servo was voiced by Taika Waititi, and he's not. And just another, like, just an Australian dude.
Yeah, Taika Waititi. God, Taika Waititi's a New Zealander, so you just offended two nations.
Yeah, I know. I just realized I just by saying like some other Australian guy, but so he has a dream of Dev, who's going to be in trouble, and basically what happens. Oh, we meet the Mandalorian,
Okay.
who is the Mandalorian, except it's Lando Calrissian, and voiced by Billy D. Williams.
I mean, everybody needs a gig.
Yes. Who still sounds really great, and he is joined by Grogu, and every time Grogu is on, like, in the scene, everyone stops to freak out about how cute he is, which is really obviously a commentary on...
When Grogu isn't on camera, everyone should be asking, where's Grogu?
Where is Grogu, yeah.
Yeah. That's a Simpsons joke.
So he shows up to capture everybody for some reason.
Because he's a bounty hunter.
Yeah, guys.
He's the Mandalorian.
Guys, I've watched a lot of TV this week, and I have notes. I just don't remember some of this shit happening. But yeah, he freezes him in carbonite and shit because all of the Sith on the Death Star want him, like Darth Rey and Darth Rose Tico and Darth Jar Jar. Wait, no, Darth Jar Jar isn't there because he comes in later.
Yeah.
There is a really funny bit that is visually striking to me, I think, in that first episode, where they're all fighting on the Death Star and they're all running around on the Death Star, and they pull back and it's just a Death Star Lego set.
Yeah.
With all like the cross section of it and everything.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. But we eventually meet our big bad, which is Master Solitus, who was Jedi Bob's original teacher, and he was banished to the Force Hold.
Ooh.
Which is the Phantom Zone, more or less. And he gets out because of course,
he's General Zod.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole reason he's in there is because he opens the Force Hold way back in the day, and Jedi Bob just kind of pushes him in because he's like, you know what, you're kind of an asshole, and pushes him right in. So he gets out and he's like, you know what, I'm going to destroy this whole fucking universe. And the next, 3 episodes are them it's a race against time before the whole universe gets sucked up into his Force Hold or whatever. And they get sucked into the Force Hold. And Force Hold. Did you say Force Hold?
Yes.
Gross. And they meet a weirdly shaped Ahsoka Tano, the Green Rabbit guy from that one Star Wars comic no one fucking knows about. Which, by the way, they mention in the show how much of a deep cut he is. They get some ally, big Chewbacca. They get some allies. They get out of the Force Hold. Solitus more or less like destroys everything, and then finally has some peace and quiet. Dev becomes his apprentice. They have a big final battle at the end, which is actually kind of a lot of fun. And they end up beating him, and they turn the universe back to how it was.
Yay!
Porgles. Porgles are a thing in this too. And it's so if you've seen Ahsoka or I guess Rebels, the big hyperspace whales are whales.
The whales.
But in this alternate universe, they're just giant porg that fly through the fucking...
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's a really good idea, actually. So good guys... fucking Cal Kestis shows up, voiced by Cameron Monaghan.
Oh, good.
Darth Maul, voiced by Sam Witwer.
Oh, wow.
Singing That's So Fabulous, That's So Fabulous over and over again, because apparently in this universe, Darth Maul is very gay.
Darth Maul is getting it.
Yes.
Slay Queen, yes.
Jar Jar Binks with spider legs.
Okay.
Darth Jar Jar with spider legs is around. And all in all, look, it's for kids. But it is also, like, there's a part of it that's for us because there are so many, like, meme moments. Mm-hmm. Darth Revan shows up.
Oh,
cool. Which is, a lot of fun. He doesn't do much, but... he's there.
How's that nice Old Republic remake coming, by the way? Don't answer that. I know it's coming badly.
They should have asked him. Actually, that would have been really funny. Yeah. So anyway,
I'm sure the writers considered it. But.
Yeah. All right. How are we doing on time? We're doing all right. Okay. We're gonna talk about Gen V, real quick, which had its 3-episode premiere
last week, which we completely forgot about.
Yeah, we did.
And also happened on the day of the show, so I wouldn't have time to watch any of it anyway.
Right. So we're gonna talk about episodes 1 through 3 today. Next week we're gonna do 4 and 5 because we'll have,
because by that point we'll have been able to catch up.
Right.
Because there's just so much goddamn stuff happening.
Yeah. There's
right
a
now.
lot of stuff happening. Do you have some? I have some spoiler-free thoughts about this because, yeah.
So this entire season is very obviously in the shadow of the death of Chance Perdue. What's his name?
Yeah, that sounds right. You're talking about the guy that played
Andre. Yes. Like the very first thing when you boot up the episode is that there's a dedication for Chance Perdomo. Chance Perdomo. And like all throughout these first 3 episodes, there's very conscious and like asides to
explaining what happened. Yeah.
That this character is gone, he's dead, and he's not coming back. And
that part of it is really sad.
Yeah.
I mean, it always sucks, like, especially when you're running a show like this, like when you have an actor suddenly die, like how do you even...
Like, you have options. You could attempt to recast, which, depending on the role that they had for that character, they might have had to.
Which runs the risk of coming off as disrespectful.
Sure.
Or
insensitive.
Or on the other side, entirely you've broken immersion, which
How many times did Game of Thrones recast? Like half the cast?
Well, not half of them, but a lot of them get recast. Amelia Clark wasn't even Daenerys in the pilot before they reshot it, I don't think.
Wow.
But yeah, they recast a bunch. Yeah.
Or you can go with the option that the showrunners went with, which is you have that character die in universe and you move on with the story.
Yeah, which is the route they went. And that part of it really sucks. And I like,
he was really good in that role.
Yeah, he was really good, and I like how they've handled that at least. It doesn't come off as
like it's tasteful, and there's an element of sorrow in the characters as they're talking about it all, and it's
okay.
Aside from that, it is very much The Boys. Completely irreverent, very gross, very, very bloody at times.
I've got to be cantankerous about this.
Okay.
I've in season 2, I found the acting performances to be entirely subpar compared to how I remember the characters in season 1. The humor isn't funny to me anymore, and this isn't the commentary isn't funny to me anymore. This is no fault of the writers. It's just that when season 1 was coming out and when like they were exploring some of this like ultra right wing crazy bullshit, the world looked different, and I could still laugh about it, and I can't laugh about it anymore. And so that part of the commentary falls flat for me. And again, it's not the writer's fault and it's not the actor's fault, but
it's the shitty world we live in.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't want to go and watch The Boys and get the same feeling of anxiety that I get when I watch the fucking news, which is the feeling that I had when I watched it.
Okay, that's fair.
But I think I'm not sure what it is up with the acting performances. Almost every scene for me in these 3 episodes was just so cringy, with one exception, which is our new big bad called Cypher, who I find very interesting and intriguing.
Yes, very much so.
But I'm not crazy about any of their acting performances. Everything just feels so forced and kind of flat, and I'm not sure if this was because of the writer's strike. And maybe the dialogue is just kind of shitty or whatever. And there's also there's a gross side of this franchise that I think after you've experienced it a few times, you're just like, okay, this is just kind of gross. I don't want to.
It ceases to be shocking and
Yeah,
it's just kind of
right.
unpleasant.
I don't need to hear about a superhero eating a dog out, or it just, some of it's just disgusting just because they wanted it to be that way.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm just kind of over the novelty of it has worn off a little bit.
That's fair.
So we're gonna watch it though. It's fucking happening, and hopefully it gets better. Okay, so were you gonna say something else?
No. I think
Okay. So we learn a little bit about Dr. Godolkin, which I didn't realize. I guess I should have realized that the university was named after a guy and not just like.
I mean, our university was named after a guy.
Right. Just like a weird name, like word or something. I don't know what I thought it meant, but it was like, oh, it's a guy. Okay, that actually makes sense. Who is testing some Compound V back in like the 60s or
his
something.
Buddies, his colleagues were testing some
Right.
Compound V. He was like, "Whoa, wait, no, don't do that. It's not safe." Oh, you already all injected it.
Yeah.
And you're all exploding in very messy and bloody ways.
Right, and
That's not
and it's like, John and I have a rule about watching Gen V or The
You
Boys.
don't watch it while you're eating.
We don't watch it while we're eating. Yeah. So, present day, Godolkin University is reopened after the left wing Starlight attack or whatever, under the leadership of a new dean called Cypher, and we know nothing about him. And they praise fallen heroes like Queen Maeve, who actually isn't dead, Tech Knight, who is disgusting, Robert Singer and Starlighter are traitors, and they release Sam. Well, no, hold on. Kate, Sam, Justine, and Rufus, who are all pieces of shit, by the way. The Rufus being the date rape guy.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, these guys are great. And then so our heroes are being held at Elmira, which is like a hospital prison. Yeah.
It's Arkham Asylum.
Right, and it's where Emma, Jordan, Marie, and
Andre had woken up at the end of season 1.
Right, so Marie has escaped. We know that Andre is dead.
Yes.
And then Jordan and Emma are released.
Well, they get loaded into the back of this truck, and they're still handcuffed. And then the truck stops, and the door opens, and it's Kate. And they're at Godolkin University.
Yes.
Kate's like, "Hey guys, so great to see you." And they're like, "What the? Why?"
Right. We meet one of the most annoying characters I've ever seen in this franchise.
B-lady.
Okay, so this is the setup they've done. She has a stinger.
Yes.
That she directly says, "If I sting you, you will die, and I will die."
Yes.
They are almost certainly going to pay that off. Right?
I mean, it's Stinger Ex Machina. They have to pay. It's fucking Chekhov's Stinger.
Chekhov's Stinger. I am very much looking forward to that because I hate this character so much.
I think you are supposed to.
Yeah, you're supposed to. Kate can't really seem why they're so mad at her.
Yeah.
Which is funny because she's terrible.
Kate is working so hard to justify her actions to herself and
to apologize for them too.
And she is convinced that she can make other people like accept that what she did wasn't so bad or was in their best interests, even though her actions were objectively terrible. So
what is your read on Cypher, by the way? Because he is, to me, kind of the only interesting part of this show so far.
Cypher, well, we know from the other episodes that Cypher was heavily involved in experimentations with Compound V.
And he was at Elmira.
Yes. So part of me thinks he's there to sort of get the payoff from Project Odessa.
As being like a part of it?
Yeah. Like that's his primary reason for being there. And also he seems to know a lot about powers and how they work. And if you're Homelander and you're trying to establish the superpowered Reich, having your fellow soups be as powerful as possible would be a good idea.
He does seem to have a vested interest in at least having Marie as powerful as Homelander.
Which, now that you mention that, makes me think that this might be Cypher's either power play or insurance plan against Homelander.
Yeah. I'm not sure. We're not meant to know what his powers are yet.
Yes. Well, we're not meant to know very much about him, actually. He's sort of shrouded in mystery. A human Cypher, if you will.
We know that he has a very strange diet.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to put peanut butter and chicken into a blender. He likes
to put a whole bunch of shit into this weird smoothie that cannot possibly taste good.
Yeah. And we also know that he's not a very good teacher.
he has this weird verbal tick that... Maybe it's not a tick, but it's this way of speaking where he's like sort of delayed or says words with a weird cadence and rhythm.
Yeah, yes, and I'm wondering how much of that is the actor, because the actor that plays Cypher, first of all, is amazing. He's very good, and one of the reasons I think that this is the part of the show that I'm enjoying. He's in a show called Midnight Mass. That is also a really, really good spooky October, vampire. Oh my God, it's a vampire story. Another one I really like. And he's also very, very good in it.
Does he have the same vocal cadence in that show?
I don't know. Actually, now that you mention it, I can tell you his voice is obviously the same, but I don't know if his manner of speaking is the same. And now I'm kind of curious because now I kind of want to know if it is or not. But we don't know what his deal is. Mm-hmm. Marie starts off the grid, constantly running away, trying to stay one step ahead of Vought and everything. She eventually gets accosted by Starlight.
Yes.
Who's like, first of all, go back to school, you dumb motherfucker. Second of all, when you get there, I need you to find out what the fuck Project Odessa is. Yes. Okay, bye.
Also in this, we find out Marie is like calling around pretending to be like child services,
trying to find her sister,
trying to find
right?
her sister.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to preface the following by saying that I do not care if an actor wants to spend their wealth making themselves look different. Okay. I don't care. And I don't think that has any bearing on that actor's worth as an actor or person.
Okay.
Starlight's actor, I didn't recognize her at first.
Really?
Yes. And I'm not sure. I think she's had some work done.
Okay.
That feel, at least to me, feels kind of obvious. So I was like, oh shit, that's Starlight, I guess. And I know that this was like a manufactured controversy a while ago. I think when the Boys, the previous season of The Boys was coming out, and I think she took to social media and was like, guys, women age, like this happens. But it's very, like, it's kind of clear that she had some work done. And like I said, it doesn't have any bearing on, her worth as an actor or a person or anything. I was kind of taken aback a little bit where I thought it was a different actor for a second.
Didn't have that reaction at all.
Well, maybe I'm tripping balls. But she does show up and
gives Marie her mission, yeah. And Marie's like, yeah, but I don't really want to.
Yeah.
And so it's, well, actually, like, you'll be safer there, so maybe you should just go there.
Yeah, because I think she knows that, like, Marie and Emma, or not Marie, Emma and Jordan are back and everything.
Marie also gets into a fight with some bigots,
right?
And gets posted on social media because, of course, it does.
And Jordan and Emma are they're able to immediately find her. There is this whole thing too with Andre's dad, Polarity.
Yes.
Who's not taking his son's death very well and ends up a professor at Godolkin. Mm-hmm. I think for the purpose of figuring out what the fuck's going on.
Yes.
So Kate or Marie ends up back at Godolkin. Mm-hmm.
But not before Jordan and Emma kind of maybe accidentally almost kill Kate, put her in the hospital.
Yeah. Well, she ends up back in the third episode, so yes. They definitely didn't kill her, which is funny because she seemed pretty dead at the end of the second episode.
her skull was smashed in and was bleeding pretty bad, and
Yeah, a lot of her inside blood was on the outside.
Yeah.
And that's not good for a living, I'm
No.
told. There's also this entire other thing that the guy, Patrick Schwarzenegger's brother, from the first season, who ends up like the weird one that sees the Muppets.
Sam.
Sam, yeah. They're doing this weird thing where before Kate was injured, she was like
making him not feel things,
right,
so he could just kind of ignore the fact that he and Kate were doing terrible things in
right,
service of Homelander.
Right. And so like there's that whole thing, and after she gets injured, she's not able to do that anymore because like something happens to her powers.
She's either not able to or not able to safely. Like
Yeah.
she might have the same deal that Polarity and Andre had.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he's got like cerebral micro tears or something.
If he uses his powers too much, he gets
That's
a
how
stroke,
Andre dies, by
which
the way.
yes.
Yeah. He tries to move a big metal door and he has a
so
stroke.
they can escape from Elmira. And
So yeah, Marie ends up back at Godolkin. The one thing I do love how much they make fun of like influencer culture, because that shit is so annoying, and it's one of the reasons why like we will never have millions of followers.
No.
And one of the reasons is because we just like to sit here and talk about shit we like. And
we don't have the patience to do all that influence.
I don't. I really don't. It's so exhausting. And it's like this thing where I posted that Battlefront clip where it's like, oh, this does really well. I'm willing to do that because all I have to do is press a button on my Xbox that says record what happened.
Yeah.
And then just post it. If it was literally an ounce more work than that, I'd be like, fuck you, I'm not doing that. And I just love how they really go after influencer culture and how backstabby and disgusting it is.
I particularly appreciated the stab at the trad wife super.
Oh, she's so weird.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's a thing I don't understand, I guess, on a cultural level. But that's one of the parts where I'm like, I don't want this, and I need to escape when I watch shows, and
sure,
you are keeping me from escaping right now. But that is very, very strange. Because of course, like Homelander and that whole like group, he's Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty obvious.
He's too smart to be Donald Trump, honestly.
You're right. He is, but just a little bit smarter, I think. I imagine that if Donald Trump had superpowers,
he'd be a lot like Homelander.
Yeah, he wouldn't be using them to learn new things, for sure. Which I also feel like Homelander doesn't learn new things.
Why does he need to learn new things?
Right, he knows everything he needs to know.
He's the most powerful being on the planet.
Exactly. I do appreciate the commentary. It just it's too real life now, and it just isn't as fun anymore, I guess.
So let's see. Jordan and Marie are in this special seminar called Power Optimization.
Yes.
Where
AKA get the shit beat out of you by Thor.
Where Cypher's like, okay, we're going to learn how your powers work. Have you met my friend Thor with the giant hammer? You see that button over there on the wall? Any one of you presses it, class is over. Thor, beat the shit out of him. And Thor's like, I thought you'd never ask.
And he does. And it's they end up getting past him, but like, and it's Marie who like kind of figures out. I think she like causes a cardiac arrest.
Yeah,
and she's like
she almost causes his heart to stop, but he just pounds his chest a little bit.
Yeah,
gets back up. Does buy enough time for Jordan to get over and press the button, though.
Right. Can you remind me, was the Jordan Marie romance something from season 1?
Yes, it happened like right at the end.
It does feel a little familiar because John was like, "Wow, this kind of came out of nowhere." Like I didn't know, and it's like I think that they were kind of.
If I'm
remembering
right, I think Kate made them all black out and wake up at a party, and Jordan and Marie were like woke up in bed together.
Yeah. Okay.
After they had been like very at each other's throats, so it's kind of a enemies into lovers situation.
I think it's also an interesting commentary that Godolkin is very excited to take advantage of Jordan's power by shoving them into the transgender box when they're not.
Yeah.
And it just reminds me of how like corporations.
See, we can't be bigoted. We have this trans person
we have a
who's
trans,
actually bigender.
Right? Yeah, which and they don't even identify them correctly because Jordan isn't trans. They're bigender. Like they can be either gender whenever the fuck they want. Or gender.
Yeah.
Not sorry, no. We sex. Yes, we need to correct that because that is a glaring mistake that I just made. Does not necessarily switch gender, but is able to switch their sex on on command.
Yeah.
And I'm also noticing has a different power set.
Yes.
When they're boy Jordan, they're
they punch
strong.
really hard.
Yeah.
While they're girl Jordan, they can
force
shoot
field
force
shooty
field,
things. Yeah. Which is cool. I like that. I like both of those actors very much, and that has to be a pretty challenging role to play with two actors.
I would imagine so. Yeah. Because like those two have to be. You're better at this. Do they use like the same micro expressions and facial training? I don't know if that's something you paid attention to at all.
I mean, it's nothing that I'm not sure I'm a micro expressions expert, but I can tell you that
you know more than I do.
I feel a familiarity between the two of them, but that could also be the fact that they have the fake mole on both their like someone like right before cameras roll, someone came up with a Sharpie and was like, "Boop, there's your mole."
Let's see. Sam at one point is like freaking out and like seeing Muppets everywhere.
Yeah, which isn't much of a change from how he was in season 1. To be honest.
But like the implication is that he's not seeing them all the time. It's when it builds up so much that he needs Kate's help to not feel.
And now toward the end of this 3 episode run where he doesn't have that.
Yeah, Jordan manages to like calm him down, and they smoke pot and watch Sesame Street.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is kind of nice.
Yeah. So all this really culminates into Jordan becoming, because they're really big into the fucking tier list thing, right? So
Jordan's the new number 1,
yeah,
which means that and it's Godolkin Day, which means Jordan gets to give this big speech about, fluffing up Vought and Godolkin and all this stuff.
Make America super again or whatever. Yeah.
So of course B Lady gives Jordan this speech, and Jordan gets up there and reads like 3 lines of it, and is finally like, you know what? Let's just cut the bullshit.
You know what? Fuck you guys.
Andre's dead. He died a hero.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's not dead? Kate. Who is dead? The people that Vought are telling you attacked Kate, which is bullshit because actually I attacked Kate. And that's where episode 3 ends.
Also, go Starlight. That's
I don't think she gets that far, but
that's another thing that really gets me too. And I think the reason that it irritates me is that it happens so often in real life that, for no reason and without any evidence whatsoever, Starlight is the pedophile.
Yes,
which is just an insult that is baked into every right-wing insult now against or any argument.
I mean, every accusation is a confession.
Right. So every and this, you can see this in our own comment section, by the way. And anytime that we take a position on an issue that isn't very right-wing, we're immediately called groomers or pedophiles, which is funny given the fact that the president of the United States is a literal pedophile.
Yeah.
Like,
release the Epstein list.
Yeah, please. Like, that's the guy you voted for. Should you be throwing your pedophile-sized stones like that? I don't think you should. The fact that showed up in Gen V, though, is kind of like, that's happened to me before. Like, people calling me, like, I don't... For no reason, without any evidence.
Yeah.
It's always their first line of defense. It's like, you lay out this well-reasoned argument with statistics and data and facts, and they're like, pedophile. It's like,
Daniel, if they cared about statistics and facts and numbers, they
wouldn't have the position they had. Yeah.
Anyway,
this is why I'm not liking Gen V. By the way, because this is what I'm thinking about now.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about the next few episodes next week.
I think the show is just coming at the wrong time for you.
That is true.
If we were in a timeline where Kamala Harris had won, I think you'd be a little bit more.
We'd also have our own an entirely different set of problems.
Yes.
Because it's I'm not a liberal, by the way. and I'm absolutely a leftist, which I don't hide from anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But like, we better not get into that.
Yeah. Better just stop there.
Let's talk about something way more exciting. Alien Earth.
Oh, yes.
Which had a season finale.
Which was definitely not a series finale.
Nope. It is. There's going to be a season 2. I would bet money on it. Which this franchise is really starting to cook a little bit because there's going to be a sequel to Alien Romulus.
Really?
Yes.
Alien Remus?
I guess maybe.
Alien Rome? I don't know.
Alien Nero.
Well,
all of these are stupid.
We'll workshop.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure they'll come up with something better.
So Alien Earth.
But they also have the Predator Badlands coming out, which is a tie-in because the android is a Yutani, Wayland Yutani.
Yeah. So right. I was on record like at the premiere of this season as being not really into it.
Okay.
In large part because I don't have Alien nostalgia.
Sure.
I have come around a little bit.
Okay. You don't watch our Battlefront streams, so you weren't around to hear me talk shit about you in this. There were several times over the last few weeks I was like, Chris says he doesn't like this show, but I bet he likes it at the end.
It took me a while because the show takes a while to get to this point. It is
a slow burn, and it's not... it could have been a better slow burn than it ended up being, but I think they kind of made it in the end anyway. So, yeah.
They did get to the finish line. Now that some of the genuinely terrible characters are getting their comeuppance, and
that's satisfying, isn't it?
And the characters that are doing some of the comeuppance are fun.
Yeah,
I guess I'm having a better time with.
Oh God, Chris, I hate to say it, and I feel so conflicted. I love Boy Cavalier.
Really?
Not as a protagonist,
as a villain.
Right. I don't want him to succeed in everything, but
you enjoy watching him on screen.
Yes, I think his actor is so good, and he is this whole last episode. He either is unaware of how much danger he's in, or he is, and like his brain is working at a different level, and he's got a plan and doesn't care. There is a literal part of this episode where a group of hybrid synthetic murder machines says, "We're going to hunt you. Go play hide and seek," and he prances off.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, what are you on? Because he's a lot of fun to watch.
Medication, apparently.
ADHD, yeah.
ADHD, yeah.
I love how this episode opens, by the way.
Yes.
Because there's a crab sitting on Arthur's dead body, and he's just like...
kind of like munching on the...
On the hole in his chest. Yep. And the xenomorph shows up, and the crab puts both of his pinchers up, and he's like, "Listen, motherfucker, I was here first.
I have dibs."
Yeah, and then the alien's like, "Okay."
Right, fair enough.
Fucks off.
Fuck. Yeah.
We had a friend in college named Stephanie who got a crab like that from the science department because they were doing experiments on them, and then when they were not like bad experiments, but when they were finished, they were giving them away to college students because of course he would. So she got one, and she called him Sir Pinch-a-Lot.
Aw.
And every time you would walk into the room, he would do that. Like he'd be like, "Oh,
what do you want, motherfucker?"
Yeah.
Don't come near me.
So Dame Sylvia visits the company child graveyard, and the problem here is that there's a company child graveyard.
Yes.
And she's there to lay some flowers. She meets the xenomorph for the first time, and I like how there's a moment where she's like, she closes her eyes.
Like, just fucking take
me. She's like, "It's the end."
Yeah.
I fucking knew it.
This is it. This is how I go.
But the soldiers show up and they evacuate her, and she ends up living.
For now.
So here's the situation on Neverland.
Mm-hmm.
Comms are down.
Yes.
The cyborg Morrow has cut the internet cords.
Mm-hmm.
Yutani is jamming satellites.
Yes.
All non-essential personnel evacuated. The hybrids are in jail, and it's a jail that is not designed to hold them.
So it's your guess is as good as mine. How long they're going to be there?
Basically they're in a room with like a door lock.
Yes,
pretty much, right?
And they're all like super strong.
Yes,
so
they could leave it literally any
They could just walk out.
The xenomorph is running around killing soldiers.
Yes.
The other aliens are contained for now.
again, your guess is as good as mine how long that'll last.
Eyeball Sheep is still plotting the end of the universe.
Yes.
And
just chilling in that cube in Cavalier's room.
Yes. Now, Adam, the guy that's in charge of like security or whatever, is like, well, now that I've given you an update on all of this, my professional recommendation is for you to get the fuck off this island. And Boy Cavalier's like, no.
This is where all the fun shit is happening. I'm staying here, motherfucker.
I'm not leaving this fucking island until I talk to a sheep. You motherfuckers. So Boy Cavalier talks to the Eyeball Sheep, and he's like, oh man, we need to have a conversation. Mm-hmm. Like, be right back. I'm going to find someone you can take over. And just sit there, please. Gnaw on your little hay balls. I'll be right back.
I think he says to the like one security guard there, like, how do you feel about your eyes?
How do you like your eyes? And he's
the guard's like,
I don't fucking...
What? Excuse me? Kevin's like, don't worry about it.
I am in danger. So the Lost Boys are in jail. In another jail, Joe and Morrow are being held. The Lost Boys have a little fight over like who snitched, because they're all fucking kids. Yeah. Wendy, I like how Curly was like, maybe if I had snitch, I wouldn't be in here with you fucking losers, because I'm the favorite, so fuck you guys. Wendy, or Marcy, says that she found their graves, and they all discuss whether or not they can die. One of them aptly points out Isaac definitely died and got his face eaten.
That's true.
By a bug.
Yeah.
So that is a possible thing. Marcy basically in the end is like, in the book, Peter Pan, Wendy is Peter Pan's favorite, because Curly keeps saying, I'm the favorite. And she's like, in the book, Wendy is Peter Pan's favorite until she grew up, and then he kidnapped her daughter, Jane. Right? Mm-hmm. I'm Wendy. I've grown up. You're Jane. That's where on this timeline we are. Like, wake the fuck up, kid. So Nibs, unsolicited, chimes in and says, we're all ghosts. And everyone's like,
thanks for the update, Nibs.
Okay. But this makes Marcy think. And she's like, what do ghosts do? And then goes on to say, all this time we've been afraid of them, but they should be afraid of us.
And she's like, I'm going to take over the Wi-Fi now.
Yes. Yeah. I propose we take over this island. Mm-hmm. And Boy Cavalier is watching this on the camera thing. Marcy says something to, in the xenomorph language. Yeah. Ooh. Somewhere else on the island, very far away from where they are, I think, he's still able to hear her.
The xenomorphs have very good hearing.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if they're like, if it's like some kind of telepathic thing. I don't know. Maybe they just have really good hearing.
I mean, she's a robot. How would telepathy even work?
Sure. So all of the computers start to go down. Mm-hmm. Kirsch tells he tries to tell Boy Cavalier to calm down, and he also says, he's like, look, I'm going to tell you something the audience is almost certain to know already. You have severe ADHD and you've not taken your fucking medication. You need to not do the stupid thing. You need to do the smart thing. Mm-hmm. And Boy Cavalier was like, no. Nope.
No, I think I will be doing the stupid thing.
I'm going to reiterate. I am not leaving this island until I talk to a fucking sheep. And Kirsch is like, fuck.
You're the boss.
Yeah. So their comms get disrupted by Marcy, mm-hmm. who's now just fucking with people on the internet. Yeah. Boy Cavalier tells the guard to go find Adam. And he's like, bring Adam here. I got a job for him. And he turns to the sheep and he's like, just to be safe, I'm going to put you in someone who's kind of weak and I could maybe punch and not die.
Yeah.
And the sheep is like, nothing will save you. So Dame Sylvia gets escorted back to her room. She pours herself a healthy measure of scotch. And then Marcy starts to torture her with recordings of the children.
Like, we'll be okay, won't we?
Yeah.
Won't we?
Won't we?
Won't we?
Yeah. Joe checks on Morrow. He wakes up. Yeah. He's mostly okay. His arm is in one of those. Isn't like a device. It's like a.
Yeah. Morrow has had his cybernetics either locked down or removed. Like he doesn't have his left eye anymore.
Yeah. I didn't even notice that.
Really?
That's crazy.
That was the first thing I noticed.
I noticed he has teeth missing.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
because they do this weird push on his mouth sometimes. It's very unsettling. His fist things are the things they put on Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
In the Captain Marvel, where she she starts punching people with them.
He only has one because he only has one robot arm.
Yeah. Which can do a lot. It can do a sword. It can do like a blowtorch.
Yeah. It's very.
There's probably like a Tommy gun and shit in there.
Yeah.
So basically, he's like, look, corporations don't give shit away for free. They take everything and. Oh, by the way, you have a fake lung now. Isn't it kind of cool to be a cyborg? And Joe's like, not going to lie, a little bit.
It breathes pretty well.
Yeah. So the soldiers, Joe's friends, make their way back. They're trying to find Boy Cavalier. An elevator suspiciously opens, so they just get on it. And I like how there's the one soldier who's like, should we?
Is this really a good idea?
Because which one of you motherfuckers called that elevator? And they're like, none of us did, but it's here. And he's like, guys, come on. And they all get on the elevator anyway. And the elevator stops and a self-destruct sequence starts. Why the fuck does the elevator have a self-destruct sequence? I cannot figure that out.
It's so that Wendy could fuck with them.
In my head, it would be the funniest shit in the world if it doesn't have a self-destruct sequence.
And she's just fucking
with
them.
And she's just fucking with them, yeah. So
honestly, that's probably what's happening,
right? Because why would you put a self-destruct sequence on an elevator?
Because like it pulls into the Lost Boys cell, and Smee is just like counting down with a shitty grin
right,
on his face.
So it turns out Marcy is just fucking with them, and she's if there is a self-destruct, she stops it and then like lets him out of the elevator.
Well, they were escaping from the elevator anyway.
So Smee convinces Marcy that Joe is a good guy. A good guy, and so she's like, you know what, and she kind of has a flashback to some moments and shit. So she opens their jail cell, and Morrow's able to overwhelm the guard and get his arm free, and they escape.
And he's like, you fucking go get the kids and get out of here, because I'm gonna burn this motherfucker to the ground.
Right. I like how Joe's like, I'm gonna save everyone I can, and Morrow's like, that's nice, I'm gonna kill everyone. Let's meet back here afterwards and see which one did a better job. So Kirsch is in the lab. He's doing some soldering. He's got his little goggles and shit on.
There's this excellent camera trick where like the camera is on him and you can see these two guards out in the hallway. The camera follows him over to this side, and then when it pulls back, there's just blood stains on the glass.
Yep. That's what I'm talking about. Like when a horror movie or a horror sequence has good cinematography. Whenever there's a camera pan, you pay attention. Because you know that something is different, right? So Morrow comes in. He tries to sneak up on him.
Kirsch is just like doing his science. He stands up, pulls a gun.
Gun. Yeah. So that's exactly what he says, by the way. They have a little fight. They're pretty evenly matched until Morrow flips Kirsch over and damages him pretty badly, and he
breaks his back.
And starts like bubbling milk. Yeah. So. Morrow tells the story of John Henry, which is a story I heard when I was in like the second grade, and it made me very sad. And basically, the story is you have John Henry, an African American a dude with two 10-pound hammers, who's very good at chipping through mountains and shit. But one day, the steam-powered fucking thing shows up, and they're like, "Well, we don't need you anymore, John Henry. We got this fucking thing." And John Henry's like, "Fuck you. Watch this." And he gets his two hammers through the fucking night, goes through a mountain, beats the machine, and then dies. He just has a heart attack and dies. And I remember being in like the first or second grade hearing that story, being like, "Aw, poor John Henry." Yeah. So basically, he tells that story, and then Kirsch points out, he's like, "Boy, like John Henry dies at the end of exhaustion," and then he's like, "I'm not exhausted yet, so I still got plenty of energy." So, he gets distracted by an alien, because the one alien we haven't seen in action, the carnivorous plant thing, has gotten out, because there was a stray gunshot, and it like went through the glass, and he's able to get out, and is now just lurking around, like on the ceiling, like Spider Pig on the ceiling. And Morrow is like, "What the fuck?" And while he's distracted, Kirsch grabs him and chokes him out, and so he's unconscious. now Boy Cavalier shows up to where the kids are being held. And Marcy quietly calls to Zeno. She's like, he's fucking here. He's coming.
Yeah.
And basically, Boy Cavalier is like, it really sucks that you guys are all in jail. Like, who am I supposed to play with? And Smee is like, let us out, motherfucker. We'll play. And he's like, but you won't play nice, though, will you? And they're like, no, we're going to fucking kill you, probably. Yeah. And so he's like, instead of playing, how about I tell you a story? And I love how Marcy just interrupts him and just opens the jail door.
Snaps, and the door opens. And there's another great shot. Like, it looks like these five are about to drop the hardest rap album.
Yeah.
Like, she's just sitting on the floor. There's two of them.
They're all kind of
yeah. It's great.
Yeah. So she's like, "What fucking story?" And you can tell Boy Cavalier is like, I'm in danger.
I may have miscalculated here.
So
he's like, so when I grew up, my dad was an asshole.
Do you want to know how I got these scars?
When I was 6 years old, I made my first robot, and my robot killed my dad.
Yeah.
And now that robot is my dad.
So are we to take from this that Kirsch is his father or Adam is his father?
I think it's Adam.
Okay.
Kirsch strikes me as being like something that he acquired on the side.
But Kirsch kind of acts like Boy Cavalier's boss sometimes.
Kirsch is also a huge dick. And I don't know.
So was his father. But I know you brought up a good point.
Why would he make his new surrogate father?
I think they made this ambiguous on purpose. Spoilers about Adam, by the way. He tells the story about his dad and everything.
He's like, okay, look, you guys are supposed to be demonstration models.
Yeah, you're my property.
Yeah, like you are supposed to be an example of what people can buy for themselves for millions of dollars. So can you please just chill the fuck out and be good fucking runway models?
Yeah.
Nibs is like, I'm gonna start growling now.
Yeah. Nibs growls and kills his bodyguard.
Yeah.
And
just jumps on him, beats him to death.
Yeah. Marcy tells Boy Cavalier to run, and Boy Cavalier seems kind of delighted by this. So they're gonna go play some hide and seek.
It's novel. He couldn't have predicted this.
Right. So she sends everyone after a target. So
Smee and Slightly are going after Morrow and Kirsch.
Yes, hold on. So Nibs is going after, or Marcy's going to go after Boy Cavalier. Smee Slightly go after Morrow. Nibs goes after Dame Sylvia, and then she adds at the end, "No one touches my brother." Yes. Right. So
and she sends Curly just after the Marines in general.
I just realized my notes have ended. So the rest of this we're going to do from memory. So
Joe's like going through Marcy's room, and
Adam's just there.
Adam's like, hey.
That's another cool camera trick that they do, because they kind of pull out from Joe, and he's just like
he's just chilling.
Yeah,
he's like, hey, I'm here on behalf of my boss, Boy Cavalier. He would like to make an offer for you.
Yeah, we've had a change of heart.
Yes, this offer will definitely not end with you having your eyeball replaced with an alien. So there's no need to worry about that.
Also, human rights.
Yeah, definitely.
We believe in human rights.
Yes. Would you please come with me, and I'll take you to the boss, and you can talk.
Yeah, and I like how Joe's immediate, like, corporations are saying they believe in human rights. What the fuck's up with this? This smells like bullshit.
I'm not so sure about this, but okay.
So he follows it, because what the fuck are you going to do, you know?
So you get to Boy Cavalier's room. Adam's like, I'm just going to stay out here. Why don't you head inside and talk with the boss? And Joe's like, this is definitely bullshit, but okay. And he walks in, and the eyeball sheep cube is empty.
Yep.
The door is open. And like, we as the audience, we know what's up, but Joe might not.
Yeah.
So he gets in there, and the sheep just starts fucking growling at him.
Which, by the way, he walks into the room. He turns, and he sees the sheep, and they stare at each other for a second. Mm-hmm. And I've got to admire Joe's restraint.
Yes.
By not freaking out and being like, what the fuck? That's a sheep.
Because I would have freaked the fuck out.
Yeah. But like Joe is like, of course, it's a fucking sheep.
Mm-hmm. So the eyeball fucking climbs out of the sheep. Mm-hmm. Sheep falls over dead. Eyeball leaps at him, and Joe goes into the cube.
Yep. Well, it's a smart move, by the way.
Yeah.
He locks himself in the containment thing.
It's probably the safest place for him.
And then the eyeball's like, yeah, but you didn't know about my hay ball tray. And so he gets in that way, and then that thing almost gets him.
Yes.
And I really thought that they were going to kill this character.
It's very, very close. But then Marcy shows up and slaps the eyeball out of the...
Yeah, like Marcy saves him. So Nibs catches up to Dame Sylvia and captures her.
And like there's this great close in on Nibs's face where she just
the
grins.
creepy smile. Yeah. Oh God.
That actor was perfectly chosen for this.
She was very good. So Smee and Slightly catch up to Kirsch and Morrow. Morrow's still unconscious.
Kirsch
like, hilariously,
oh great, can you take this like Cat 5 wire and just tie him up before he wakes up?
First he says, "Where were you 10 minutes ago?" And like he doesn't realize what's happening yet. And so instead of tying up Morrow, they tie him up, and he's like, "Oh motherfucker." And then they presumably also tie Morrow up. Who else went out to get people? Marcy's chasing out. Well, so
yes. So
Marcy mentions,
Adam comes in and fights Marcy a little bit.
Oh right. And she just fucking puts him into sleep mode.
Yeah, she just hacks him.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, I can't do anything now."
In the middle of all this, Eyeball Monster
just escapes.
Yeah, he's like, you know what would be way better than possessing Joe is if I just fucked off.
Yeah,
and no one caught me. So he like goes into a drain or something and just fucks off. All right. I also like how they just push Adam over and he's just like kind of frozen there. So we got Dame Sylvia, we've got Adam, we've got Morrow.
Boy Cavalier. Cavalier has
Marcy mentions that she has someone special going after Boy Cavalier, which we know is the Xenomorph.
So Boy Cavalier has somehow found a bulletproof vest, and he's just skipping through the hallway on his radio set.
Having the time of his fucking life.
He's like, "Hey, first soldier who finds me gets $1 million, thanks." And does the Xenomorph catch up with him first?
I think he goes into a room where there is a Xenomorph.
Yes, the Xenomorph's there, and he's like, "Oh God!"
Yeah, it really freaks him out, and he like falls over.
And Marcy and Joe are there, and he's like, "Oh great, can you help me up?" And Joe fucking kicks him in the head.
I'll just kick him in the face.
Some Marines show up, and Marcy tells the Xenomorph to kill him.
Yeah,
and it does.
There's a really good shot of the Yutani ships coming in.
Yep.
With a half faded shot of Yutani the younger, which I think is weird that he keeps calling her that, but like I know it's technically true, but it feels like a pet name, and I'm not really sure how to feel about it. But basically, everyone, Boy Cavalier, Dame Sylvia, Morrow, Kirsch, Adam, they all end up tied up in the jail where the Lost Boys were.
In Kirsch's case, just sort of slumped on a bed.
He's like, oh, yeah. I can't feel my legs. Not that that's funny. Sorry. So Wendy pretty much shows up and was like, "Hey, Boy Cavalier, I figured out what your deal is. Like, you have this weird, unhealthy obsession with Peter Pan, and you think that you're the kid that never grew up, but you're very obviously just an angry little man. You've always been an angry little man. You're just like your dad. You're mad at everybody, and you suck." And what is Boy Cavalier's response to this?
He just starts laughing.
He turns to Adam and says, "You gonna let her talk to me like that?" And I like how Adam's like,
"Yes, actually.
Do you not realize what situation we're in right now?" Because everyone looks out the fucking jail, and the Xenomorph is just hanging out there
with his little buddy Xenomorph,
with a little baby. Like they're little buddies now. And Wendy is like, "So we're in charge now."
Somewhere in the middle of all this, our queen, the eyeball, got down to
Arthur's dead body,
and just, as you said, the garbage will do.
Yeah,
plucks out his eye, gets in there.
I thought for sure that maybe. Well, I guess it did. Like in the first episode, it did get into that dead cat. Mm-hmm. So it can like take over dead animals.
It just needs a nervous system.
Yeah,
not necessarily a working nervous system.
He's gonna have to find another shirt.
Yeah. If
he's gonna pass as a which by the way, in season 2, that Dame Sylvia Arthur reunion is probably gonna be real gross. So Wayland Yutani is on its way in. They probably have no idea. We figure out what the plant does.
Oh yeah. It fucking ate Joe's girlfriend.
It does a Batman and swoops down and grabs one of the Marines and
Joe's girlfriend.
Yeah, and then digests her, and it's disgusting. And then the rest of them die, except for the leader guy who gets knocked out by Curly, I think.
Yeah.
But he doesn't show up in the jail at the end, does he?
I don't think so. Maybe he got eaten by the plant.
So
I don't know.
I don't know. That's
we'll
weird.
find out eventually.
So there's a big needle drop thing. I think it's like Pearl Jam or something. And they're almost certainly going to do a season 2 of this.
They very obviously left it at a cliffhanger.
Yes. Which I think it very easily deserves one. I think that while the pacing at times on this show was a little self-indulgent, I'll say, I think they told a cool story, and we got some pretty interesting characters. And I always love seeing a fucking xenomorph running around. And honestly, the xenomorph wasn't even really the star of the show.
No,
that fucking
eyeball
was. And I would like to know, that like that eyeball is going to end up like president of the world or something, and no one's going to know. Like, it's just,
I mean,
it's not going to be the body that she's in, but it's going to be the person like pulling the strings, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where they go with that. So, oh fuck. Well,
that's that.
All right, so next week we're talking about Gen V, episodes 4 and 5. So go and catch up on that. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to. I do this every week where I ask everyone's thoughts and say we're going to read them live, and then I never remember to do it. So
well, you just remembered.
I did just remember because I saw one. Oh, this is really long. Okay, so Jimmy says, "Is that this is in response, I think, to Mandalorian and Grogu? Yeah. It's actually a good idea to have a Grogu movie. A lot of people who aren't Star Wars fans love Grogu and will be going just to see him. I imagine it's going to make way more money that way and do far better than Toy Story 5, in my opinion.
If they can keep this movie rated like PG, it'll do gangbusters at the box office.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any chance of it being anything higher than PG. They stay pretty...
Yeah.
Well, like with this Disney Plus stuff, maybe with the exception of Acolyte, they keep in that slot pretty firmly. In my opinion, I'm very curious to learn more about Rhoda. It's been years since we see him after his first appearance in the Clone Wars movie, and I would love to see if he knows about his father's death, and would be interesting to hear him mention. There is a shot of a door, by the way, in that trailer that has the Jabba's gang, or the Hutt cartel, symbol thing on it. So the Hutts are definitely going to be in this thing. So, all right, I think we're going to call that a night there. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be, at least I will be here tomorrow, 7:00 Central for some Battlefronts with our boys from Gremlin Squad. You can come and join us there and say hi. We'd love to have you. Otherwise, Chris and I will see you next week